What if a bustling city full of life and vibrancy was suddenly shattered by a devastating bombing? This is the chilling reality that Mogadishu, the capital city of Somalia, faced. Imagine a city thriving with energy where the hum of commerce, culture, and community weaves a vibrant tapestry of life. Now imagine that tapestry torn apart by the violent threads of a bombing. That's the stark transformation that swept across Mogadishu, the heart of Somalia. In the heart of Mogadishu lies Villa Rose, a hotel frequented by the country's ministers and parliament members, a symbol of power and influence. On a day that seemed like any other, a suicide attack and subsequent storming of the hotel occurred, turning this symbol into a site of terror and tragedy. The attack was carried out in a zone heavily fortified and near the presidential palace, causing shockwaves of horror and disbelief to ripple through the city and beyond. The immediate aftermath was a scene of chaos and confusion, with the extent of casualties remaining undisclosed. Enter Al-Shabaab, an Al-Qaeda-linked terror group infamous for their history of terror activities in the region. They were quick to claim responsibility for the attack, adding another dark chapter to their reign of terror. Since August, Somalia's armed forces, backed by the United States, have been conducting military operations against this group. This attack, however, marked a grim escalation of violence, despite the concerted efforts to counter Al-Shabaab's influence. But as the dust settles and the investigation begins, the simple narrative of a terrorist attack begins to unravel. What if there is more to this story than meets the eye? The question now looms large, casting a long shadow over Mogadishu and the ongoing struggle for peace and stability. As we delve deeper into the incident, we will explore alternative perspectives, the challenge in attribution, and the urgent need for a thorough investigation. As we delve deeper into the bombing, alternative perspectives begin to emerge. Could there have been other players involved in this horrific event? Let's take a moment to consider the possibility of corrupt politicians being involved. In a country where political corruption is not unheard of, it's plausible that the bombing could have been a power play, a desperate attempt to divert attention, or even a twisted form of political maneuvering. Now let's shift our gaze beyond Somalia's borders. What if neighboring countries had a hand in this? It's no secret that regional rivalries and power dynamics can often lead to clandestine operations. Could the bombing have been a calculated move by a neighboring state to destabilize Somalia, or perhaps to gain leverage in ongoing territorial disputes or resource battles? And then there's the theory of foreign powers being involved. Somalia's strategic location and rich resources make it a prime target for foreign intervention. Could an external entity have orchestrated the attack to further their own geopolitical agenda? Could it have been a ploy to justify military presence or to influence the direction of Somalia's political future? The political landscape in Somalia and the region is complex and fraught with tension. These theories, though speculative, underscore the potential motivations of these parties. And this brings us to a crucial point. These theories, though speculative, underscore the need for a thorough and impartial investigation. With these alternative perspectives in mind, attributing the bombing to Al-Shabaab becomes a complex task. Indeed, it is a challenging endeavor to definitively assign responsibility in such cases. To start off, gathering reliable evidence in a conflict zone is a daunting task. The chaos and destruction that follow an attack often make the collection of clear, unambiguous evidence a near impossible feat. Moreover, the task is further complicated by the potential bias in reporting. In the midst of political intrigue and power struggles, information can be manipulated, exaggerated, or even completely fabricated. It's not uncommon for parties with vested interests to control the narrative and shape public perception. Another challenge in attribution stems from the history of the region. There have been previous incidents where Al-Shabaab was prematurely blamed. In the rush to assign blame and find answers, it is all too easy to point fingers at the usual suspects. But as we've seen, the reality can be far more complex. The complexity of the situation cannot be overstated. Multiple actors, both local and international, have vested interests in Somalia. The intricate web of alliances and enmities makes it difficult to discern the truth, especially when every party has a narrative to push and an agenda to fulfill. This calls into question, Can we take al-Shabaab's claim of responsibility at face value? Given these complexities, it becomes clear that a thorough investigation is not just necessary, but crucial. The road to truth is often paved with painstaking effort and relentless pursuit, and that's exactly what's required here. In the face of such a heinous act, we must stand firm, unwavering in our commitment to uncover the truth. It's a task that calls for the collective efforts of both local and international agencies. Their expertise, resources, and objectivity are key to unraveling this tangled web of violence and deceit. It's not just about pointing fingers, but about peeling back the layers of misinformation, propaganda, and political maneuvering that often cloud the reality. The need for cooperation from all parties involved cannot be overstated. Every piece of information, every lead, every bit of evidence counts. Together they form a mosaic of truth that we must piece together one fragment at a time. Only a thorough investigation can help us reach a definitive conclusion and bring justice to the victims. In a world where information is abundant yet often misleading, unraveling the truth becomes a daunting task. We've ventured into the labyrinth of the Mogadishu bombing, exploring its chilling narrative and the shadowy figures of al-Shabaab alleged to be at its core. We've considered alternative perspectives, asking if perhaps corruption or external influences played a role. The challenge in attribution has been a pivotal point, highlighting the difficulties in pinpointing responsibility in such murky circumstances. We've also underscored the necessity for a thorough investigation, a journey into the heart of the matter that leaves no stone unturned. The bombing of Mogadishu is a grim reminder of the complexities of global politics and the ongoing struggle for truth and justice. As we continue to question, probe, and seek out the truth, we realize that the quest for understanding is never truly over. It's a continuous process, one that demands our unwavering commitment and resilience. In the end, it's not just about uncovering the truth, but also about ensuring that justice is served to those affected. The bombing of Mogadishu is a grim reminder of the complexities of global politics and the ongoing struggle for truth and justice.